Oh, man. What's up, guys? Good morning. Good morning. I know I'm a little early. Excuse me. But I kind of want to get this shared out. Bear with me a moment. Apologize. Sorry. Like I said, bear with me a few minutes. I want to get this I want to share this to some of the indie groups and and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Pardon me. I was trying to share it to one group, the indie comics and small press, but it's for some reason a lot of the stuff for that one. Yeah, that has absolutely nothing to do with my book and or my publisher. You should contact those people. Heather, if you don't mind, probably delete his comment before it derails this post into something that has nothing to do with our book. What's up, Paul? Bear with me a second. I'm just sharing out to a couple places. I'm a little early. Like I said, I'm just kind of giving people time to get here and, well, what people that are awake. And then I'm sharing to a few places and stuff, just to kind of get the ball rolling. Hey Heather, if you don't mind, that one comment that that guy has posted on that share you did, if you don't mind, could you delete his comment that has to do with Dustin, because that has absolutely nothing to do with my book or the post he shared, just so they don't derail the hell out of it. Thank you, I appreciate that. Hang on one second, guys. I'll be right back. I'm just grabbing some stuff here. Oh, hang on. All right. Just getting some stuff. Pardon me. All right, let me check this camera. There we go. So, well, I wish these damn cameras, like, you could actually zoom in and out with them. What's up, Cameron? Good morning. Good morning. We're going to get started here in a minute. The official start for the chat actually wasn't until 8:30, but I wanted to go live and and talk about Psycho Sal number 6, the guest artist spots, how many there are going to be, what we're looking for as a guest artist on the book, because it definitely matters. I want to make sure we got full transparency about that, Okay. All right, there we go. All right, we've got that shared to a few places. So, okay, just a quick overview. Yeah, I didn't notice whenever I first. These are my covers for the last 4 Kickstarters, and I never noticed that I actually ran a pattern on it, and it was not intentionally off. So we had a headshot, a half body, a full body, that kind of scenario on the first 3 books. I never really noticed that until like issue 4 was in Kickstarter, and then I was looking, I was like, oh shit. Or maybe it was issue 3 was in Kickstarter, and then I noticed it was like headshot, half body, or headshot, torso, full body. All right, so just to give you guys a rundown. So for those that might be new here or tuning in from one of the indie groups or whatever, my name is William Russell. I'm a professional published cover artist and illustrator with over 75 published titles under my belt, from Image Comics and Dynamite Comics retailer exclusives to indie projects. I'm also the creator of Psycho Sal, which is one of the hot, in my opinion, I think it's a hot book. It's doing extremely well on all the Kickstarters that we've done. People are loving the series. It's about a serial killer in New Orleans in the 1980s. And there's 10 issues on the first run. Issue number 5 is currently in Kickstarter right now. We are close to the $8,000 mark on it, which is relatively huge for a Kickstarter that's doing $8 books, $10 books, and $20 books, etc. And there are some, big key items on that Kickstarter also, that average anywhere between $100 to, $400 items. But we're reaching those goals, and we're doing it off of a horror comic, which is always tougher to do in Kickstarter, unless you're doing a horror comic that is just a hack and slash, guts slinging everywhere kind of thing, or you're doing lots of TNA. And we're not doing either of those. We're telling like a true, legit horror story style story. But yeah, so that is my creator-owned comic. And so one of the unique things I do every single issue from issue number 1 is I usually have an average between 5 to 5, 6, or 7 guest artists per book, give or take. And I do something unique that most Kickstarters don't do. I'll have, let's say if I've got 6 guest artist spots, I'll have 2 or 3 that are locked in for artists that I send a message to that I want to add to the project. And, and if they have time to do the project, we'll put them on board. But then I also do something unique in the sense, or as I was referring, we do something unique with Psycho Sal is usually around 3 spots I save for people that can submit their entries to try to get a cover on the book. I've got a solid following. I've got a great fan base. Like I said, the book does extremely well. So there's definitely a good bit of eyes on, that we'll see those people's work and things like that. I think it's just something as if we have a platform, we should try to share it a little bit with others. So what we're talking about today is those spots because they're limited. It's usually only 2 or 3 spots per Kickstarter that's reserved for, either non-published people, or people that, may only have 1 or 2 things published. Now, there are certain factors that play into this, and it's not always about necessarily, I'm not always necessarily looking for the best artists in the amateur pool. Sometimes it's a style thing. If you've got a certain style that catches on. And another thing too, if you're watching this, and you're saying something and I'm not seeing your comments, that means you're not showing up on my end. So you might need to go to StreamYard and give them permission, give Facebook permission to show your name, because we figured that out the other day that some people's stuff wasn't showing up in chat. So you can either chat with us on the YouTube channel or you can chat with us on the art page channel, but just make sure that your chat is showing up. Like I said, if I'm not replying to you, that means I'm not seeing your comments. So like I said, I usually have anywhere between 2 to 3 spots, give or take, per Kickstarter that is reserved just for those people. So the way this will work is, in the next day or 2, I will make an official post on my Facebook page that says, open, audition or whatever, you want to word it. But I'll have an official post where it says that I'm taking submissions at that point. Now, I don't want any PMs. If you send me a PM, when I make that post, it clearly states on it, do not send me samples in a PM because I get hundreds of PMs a day and you will get buried. Okay. What I'll do is I'll do the official post. It'll be on my personal page. I will share it to my private art group and my public art group. And that's where you'll comment in the comment sections, like 2 or 3 of your best pieces. Okay. And like I said, I'm not necessarily looking for the best artist in the amateur pool. I'm looking for something that just catches my eye, something that I think might be unique to Psycho Sal. for a fun cover. Because and again, it doesn't matter what the style is. Submit whatever your style is. If you're an anime artist, that's fine. If you're American style artist, that's fine. If you do paintings or you do airbrushing or you do this or that, that's all fine. I'll take a look at all of it. But I like I said, it's only going to be about 3 spots on issue number 6. So it's going to be a tight window, but there are certain things I'm looking for. If you also have to be, if I see your art and I like your art and I contact you, now I pay all my artists. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. But you got to be smart about your pay. Okay. You can't be an unpublished, unknown artist. And if I just happen to like your work and I send you a PM and I ask you what your rates are and you tell me you're $500, $400, $600 artist, it's not going to happen because you don't have the fan base to pull to my book. You get what I'm saying? So be smart about what you're trying to pay, because sadly, there's a lot of people out there today that see me or see some of these other artists and who have a following, who have published library of work behind their name, and they see what we charge for covers and they think that they're supposed to charge the same price. That's not how it works. We earned what we charge. We've been grinding, we've put in the time, we've done the work. We've earned what we're charging for our prices. You just rolling in off the street, that's not how it works. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. You can charge that if you want, and I'll say thank you and have a good day. And again, I'm not looking to grab stuff for free. I don't do art contests. I don't do any of that scammy ass bullshit, and I don't give a hell who they are. When you tell people to enter, here, draw a cover for my book, and there's no pay, but I'll pick one of you as a winner, and then I'll pay that. I don't do that bullshit. Okay. I don't want you to draw nothing. I don't want you to submit no finished cover that you think I might want. I don't want you to do any of that, because I want people paid for their time. I don't want anybody, trying to jump the gun, and then I don't like your art, and I'm not going to pay you. So it's one of those scenarios, like, when I make the post and I tell you the criteria, hey, post in the comments below 2 or 3 of your absolute favorite pieces you've done. There you go, $1 million. That's what you'll do. You will not PM me. If you PM me, you're automatically disqualified because you couldn't follow instructions. Okay. And that's what all this is about, is following feedback and following instructions and doing what the retailer or the creator needs you to do. So if you automatically fail right out the gate with sending me some damn PMs of samples of your work, you're automatically out the door. I'm just going to be honest with you. But like I said, this is something that not everybody does. Most people, they don't give opportunities to people that haven't been heard of. That's just the way it is. But like I said, we kind of view things a little different. We try to reserve 2 or 3 spots per Kickstarter for someone. Now, once, if I choose you to do a cover, it has to be done within a certain time frame. I'm not playing this bullshit game where, my mama got sick or my brother's cousin's nephew's dog got lost and you had to spend 3 weeks looking for it. I'm not listening to that bullshit. If I hire you to do a job, that job has to be done within that time frame, and it has to be done to the quality level of your skill. Okay. I'm not going to tolerate bullshit. I'm not going to tolerate excuses. And you can sit here and say I'm being harsh all you want, but this is a job. Okay. You're being paid to do something. You're not being paid to make excuses. Okay. So keep that in mind. And it's that way for anybody. Anyone that hires you, that's the way they're going to tell you, that you're not here for, cry me a river bullshit. You're here to do a job you're being paid for. And you're being given an opportunity that most would not give you. Okay. You need to look at it that way too. And again, I know I'm sounding harsh right now, but you ask anybody that's worked with me and they'll tell you this is just how it goes with everyone. And this is just being honest with you. Okay. This is not being mean. But I also give artist comps, which not everyone does. Most do. But I also tend to give more artist comps than most. I usually give 10 per project, unless, if there's a negotiation about, like, let's say you got, a 500, you got a $300 fee for doing artwork, but you want more comps of your cover, then we'll lower it down to like $250, and then you get extra comps past the norm. Because like I said, when I negotiate like that, I'll usually give 10 comps, for a little bit smaller fee on the labor, because you can make more money off the comps than that little bit of a discount for the labor. I do that too. I want the books. I can make more money off the books at cons and on my online sales and things like that. So like I said, normally what I do is, now if I pay full price for your labor, you don't want extra comps, I give you 5. I still give you 5 comps. You still get 5 copies of your cover. That's still the more than what some people do. And it's usually the average. But like I said, if we negotiate a little bit lower cost, I'll give you more comps. Like I said, you can make more money that way. I mean, Jesus Christ, you can take 10 comp copies and sell them for, $20 a pop to your small fan base if you have one. So, I mean, you make $200 right there off 10 books. What's up, Sherry? We'll talk about that. So what I'll do is I will, when I make that official post, I will let it, marinate for like a week. And then I'll look through it and I'll see who all chimed in, and the ones I'm interested in, I'll touch base with you. We'll talk about your rates. We'll talk about, whether you want full rate or whether you want discounted rate for extra comps, et cetera, et cetera. We'll work out all that detail. Psycho Sal, if everything goes well, I'm hoping to have Psycho Sal into Kickstarter probably around the end of January, because we're not really going to get a whole lot done during December, because that's holiday, major holiday for a lot of people. But I'm going to try to get that done. Like Lori's working on the script for issue number 6 right now. As soon as she has that done, it'll go to Marcelo for interior art and colors. And, and then we'll, like I said, I'm hoping to have issue number 6 into Kickstarter around, the end of January. But like I said, but I'll make sure you have, whatever artist I choose, you'll have like a month, window to get your artwork done. So it's more than enough time. It really is. You shouldn't have to take more than a month to get a cover done for anyone, even someone that's super busy. And like I say, if you got any questions and you're tuning in right now and you're an artist that's interested, ask your questions. This is the best place for you to do it, because, like I said, we're not looking for I'm not looking for the perfect. No, I don't want that. Yeah, I do. But I mean, that's the example of Psycho Sal. That's the mood we're looking for, and lighting and stuff like that. Because the one thing you got to remember, horror comics is definitely a little different than drawing superheroes. So, you got to be able to take a little critiquing. You got to be able to really listen to what we're trying to say about the cover, because some of you might get to draw Psycho Sal. Most of you will probably be drawing, the other characters that are in the book on the cover, because I don't want every cover on a Kickstarter to be Psycho Sal. And like I said, everything I'm telling you is exactly what everyone else would tell you if they were hiring you to do a cover. So don't take it personal. Don't get butthurt. Okay. She does the art. Oh, okay, cool. Gotcha. Well, I'll let you know on that one. Now, I don't deal with handlers, so if your wife did get chosen to work on the project, Paul, I would be having conversations directly with her about her cover and what she's doing. No offense to you or anything like that. I don't deal with middle persons. I don't deal with handlers. There's too much shit that gets lost in translation that way. So I speak direct to the artist. So, just a heads up on that. But yeah, I mean, it's, it is a unique, book. So, we're going to be looking at people who maybe have unique styles. Cause I definitely look at that, cause I want other styles. I mean, you guys have seen me, I've had Ken Salinas on the cover who does the voodoo stuff. I've had Lisa on the cover who does the 8-bit, pixelated style art. I've had Steph Wilson who does that kind of circly kind of design with his characters. So it isn't just about doing it the way I do it. I look at other types of styles. So just because your style doesn't look like mine, don't not submit your entry, because you could be that one style I'm looking for. I mean, so keep that in mind. Always enter. Anytime someone opens up a window for you to submit art for a possible work, submit it, regardless of whether your style is that style or not. Submit it any damn way, because you never know when they might be looking for something a little different for a change. Now again, in my personal opinion, don't ever waste your ass and time with this contest shit. Okay? Don't ever do free damn work for somebody, because they own the artwork when it's their IP. So keep that shit in mind. I've been seeing that a lot lately, where somebody will make a post. I'm like, oh, guys, here's a super opportunity. We're only going to be choosing one cover. So here's your chance to get published. When you submit your artwork for this cover, you do a cover design for our book, and we'll pick one person from that, whatever entries come in, and we'll pay that person $200 and we'll publish their book or their cover. And then while everyone else didn't get shit. But now, mind you, they still own the artwork that you submitted that they can use at a later date. And, whether they choose to pay you or not, I don't know. Don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do that shit. Do not do that shit. Never, ever, ever, in my opinion, do anything like that without being compensated in some form. Now, don't get me wrong. If you contact someone direct and you say, hey, I love your book. I love the story. I'm such and such artist. I would love to have a chance to do a cover of your book. I'll do it just for, 5 or 10 or 15 copies of the cover, no labor fee. That's fine. That's your choice. That's you made that decision. And you're still getting compensated if you're trading your work for comps. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I've done that before too when I first got started. Because the books were, your name being on published work is more important than me just making, back then $100 for a cover. Because I've done covers back when I first got started for $100, $200, so I mean, you got to be smart about it when you're new. If you don't have a fan base, and you don't have a library of work behind your back that proves who you are, what you can do, how dependable you are, et cetera, again, your price doesn't match someone's price who does. So you got to be mindful of that. Again, you don't roll up on the block brand spanking new telling people you're a $400, $500, $600 artist. You're not. Sorry. I mean, I'm not trying to sound mean. I'm just trying to get you to think realistically. The people who are $500, $600, $700 cover artists are people who have a big library of work behind their name. They've proven they can do the work. They've proven they can do the deadlines. They've proven that they can handle, the process, and they've proven that they have a fan base that buys their books. Because at the end of the day, I still need people on my projects that make sense, because it's a business. And even though I try to give little, helping hands here or there with a couple of spots for unpublished people, you can't roll up on us with that damn, I'm a $500 artist, I'm a $400. You're not. Sorry. If you're doing commissions for $20, you're not a $400 cover artist. Okay. Sorry. Like I said, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to be realistic with you and what is expected, because again, most people do not mess with unpublished people. And that's just the hard fact of it is, because like I said, at the end of the day, this is a business. But anyway, like I said, feel free to ask any questions you might have. And again, keep in mind, I'll make that official post in here in the next day or so. And all you have to do is chime in on that post with 2 or 3 of your favorite pieces of art that you've done. Also, you'll and all this information will be in the post. So it's not like you got to remember exactly what I'm saying right now. I'll have all that information in the post. And and of course you'll let me know whether you're pencils only or whether you're color also, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, and it's a fun project. It's got a lot of eyes on it. It's got a great fan base for it. So you'll definitely, not only, obviously I would pay you for your services, but you also are getting some actual, for lack of a better word, some exposure with a fan base. I like having amateurs on my project. And again, it's got nothing to do with the money part, because I can afford to pay any damn body work on my project. That's not an issue. So it's not me trying to look for the lowest denominator wage or anything like that. I wish more artists that had IPs did it. Brought in one or two, amateurs that's never been published, or if they have been, it's one or two books, and give them the opportunity to have something else under their name. Yeah, I do, because it would have helped me when I first got started. So it's just something that we look at. And when I say we're talking about Charter Comics. That's who I'm published under. Chris and them, McLean and them do the same thing. When they look at artists, they kind of they'll grab one or two that they want on the project, bigger names, etc. on the project, but then they also will open it up to the public, to give opportunities to people that normally kind of get overlooked. So any questions from any of you guys on any of this process stuff? I mean, there's like 7 of you here. Somebody's got to have some kind of question, right? Well, Paul, I appreciate it, Paul. I mean, the art community in general needs to learn how to be more open-minded about trying different things. They're too damn, and again, I get it to a degree, because this is a business. This is my money I'm putting into this project. Because again, I'm different than everyone else, because my Kickstarter is, almost 100% complete before, my book is almost 100% complete before we ever even activate the Kickstarter. So like example, like Psycho Sal #5 that's in Kickstarter right now. By the time we turn the Kickstarter on, editors are paid, artists are paid, interior artists, colorists are paid, cover artists are paid, everyone's paid. So I'm already out, and now of course I'm spending a bit more money than some people. I'm already out a little over $4,500 on Psycho Sal #5 before the Kickstarter ever starts. And the book is almost complete at that point. There's a little bit of lettering that McLean is doing. When the Kickstarter finally gets turned on, that's it. Everything else is done. All the art's done. The covers are done. Everything's done. It's just a little bit of lettering. So it's, 1 to 2% of the book that's left to do. So the Kickstarter is just me recouping money I've already spent and hoping to make some profit. And like I said, horror comics is a tough one to do. Horror comics is already a small niche market. Unless you're doing sexual content or you're doing bloods and gore, Saw style, Hostel style stuff, those can do well in the horror section, because it's more that shock and awe. And then of course, any type of damn horror comics that has TNA every damn other page in the book does well. So when you're doing a horror, which is a smaller niche market, then you're doing horror that's not TNA, and it's more story driven. It's got some rough scenes in it and stuff like that. But it's more about the story and stuff like that. So that's a smaller niche market. And then inside horror, it's a niche market inside horror, because you got slasher fans, and then you got thriller fans, and then you got sci-fi horror fans, and then, so horror is a tough one to do. Superhero shit, that's easy as hell. It's a broader spectrum of fans, especially if you just slap a sexy female hero on the cover, you're golden. If you throw TNA on the covers or in the book, you're golden. So it's definitely the harder market to do. But like I said, it's done well. and we've kept our book more affordable than every other Kickstarter on the market. And it's not because of quality. Like, the quality of the books are ridiculous. The interior art is gorgeous. The covers are gorgeous. The quality of the printing is gorgeous. So there's definitely no expense, shortened on it for quality. And I think that's why it has such a solid fan base that it has, is because of that. It's not using the normal triggers to get easy sales. Like I said, tons of gore, or either sex and nudity and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, it's been a fun project. That's for damn sure. We got 5 more issues to go. Hot damn. Yeah, number 5's in Kickstarter right now, dude, and we're almost to the 8K mark. And I'm gonna tell you guys something else. Somebody asked me the other day, for artists, up and comers and stuff like that want to do a book for a project that they saw that they like, or any project. How can they get, what can they do to help them kind of be pushed ahead of the line of everyone else? Because, everybody's quality is different. Not everybody's the best artist, not everybody's the best this or that. So there's always going to be people that might get more attention than you on a talent search. But somebody asked me, like, what steps, if you're not the best artist in the world, what steps can you do to help get seen by a project you're wanting to do a cover for? That's super easy. Support the project. If you really want to get someone's attention as an artist, support the project. When you see their project go live on Kickstarter, share the hell out of it. Hell, back it financially. Even if it's a $10 book or an $8 book or whatever the case, that will damn sure get someone's attention, because people are more inclined to bring people in, give people opportunities that show love for the project that they claim they're wanting to do a cover for. And it's not just about riding our coattails for recognition. Because, let's just be honest. If you're unheard of, if you're brand new, if you've never been published, obviously the project you're reaching out to and the project you're wanting to do is to help make a name for yourself. Let's just be honest about it. When I was first reaching out and telling people I wanted to do books, I backed some of their Kickstarters. I shared their Kickstarters. And then I said, hey, I'm an artist. Here's some examples of my work. I'd love to do a cover for you guys sometime. That's what you do to get noticed, in my opinion. Share their content. Every time they got a Kickstarter goes live, share it. Because the sad thing is we don't have tons of spaces. We only do, for my project with Psycho Sal, I only do anywhere between, 5, 6 to 8 guest artist covers. And the majority of those has to be people that I know have a solid following, that I know will bring people into my fan base that may not have never seen me or seen my project. And so it's a win-win, for bringing those in. But when you're bringing in someone who doesn't have a fan base for the most part and hasn't been published, they don't have people that are, chasing them down for work, etc. just yet. I'm not saying you don't have value. I'm just saying that's a real thing. You don't have that built up yet. You haven't been there long enough. Those are just spots we're giving to people just to give to people. Because, the sad truth of it is, when I put an amateur on my project, their cover may only generate 1, 2, 3 sales. That's it. So what I pay them to do the cover work, I don't even recoup. So, and again, I'm not trying to be mean or anything. That's just the realism of it. Because they don't have they don't have a solid fan base just yet. Now, later down the road, it could be a whole different ballgame. Because the scary thing about Kickstarters is, and adding anyone to your covers, I've added a couple of big names to my book, and they sold okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like a ton of purchases on that one person. And, and I've paid as much, anywhere from, $400 for a cover artist that's well known to as much as $800 for a cover artist that was well known. So that's how much it can fluctuate. And the sad thing is you don't really recoup the money you spent to pay that person, because you got, some of their fans will buy, some of their fans won't, because that's the weird thing about fandom. You've got hardcore fans, even myself. I've got hardcore fans that will buy every single cover I ever do. And it's the same way for the big shots, the big names. They've got hardcore fans that no matter what book they do a cover for, they're going to show up, they're going to buy that book, even if they never open it, never read it. You're going to have that. But you're also going to have fans that support you tremendously, but they will only buy certain books that you do covers for because they like that book. That's just the way it is. Not every fan, not even the biggest names walking. If I slap them on one of these, like here's a prime example. Like, even if I spent the insane money and hired someone that is as well known as Jim Lee to do a cover for Psycho Sal, costing me thousands upon thousands of dollars to hire him, it would not sell enough to probably offset the money I paid him. Because hardcore fans of Jim Lee's are going to buy the book even though they've never heard of it. But the majority of his fans are not going to buy the book because they've never heard of it. So, you got to keep that done. You got to keep that in perspective. It's crazy. It's crazy how that works. And I fall into the different I fall different in that too. Like, the people I'm a fan of, I'm in that category. I'll buy, if I'm a hardcore fan of them, I'll buy almost every damn cover they've done. Back when I was collecting, I don't collect really comics anymore. I collect original art or statues and stuff like that. But when I used to collect, like, every time I saw a Jim Lee cover, no matter what damn book it was, I was buying that book, even though I would never open it. The same thing with, I was that way with Matina for a little while. Every damn book he had, I was buying the damn cover. So you've got those hardcore fans that do that. Like, I've got hardcores that every time one of my covers drop, whether it's an indie book, whether it's a company book, whether it's one of my books for Psycho Sal, they are there right there grabbing that book. And I, that's the ones you love all your fans, but that's definitely the ones you definitely like love, because they show up and show out on everything. Those are rare fans. The other ones are great too. I love my regular fans that just buy this book or that book or whatever because they like that book or they like that particular cover. Because not all my covers are going to be home runs. Some, depending on how much freedom I had on the cover versus how much hand holding the person that wanted me to do the cover does. Because sometimes people's ideas in their head don't look all that great on the cover of a book, because they kind of stranglehold the creativity a little bit. And when you do that, stuff comes out stiff. Hey, what's up, brother? Hell yeah, I'll be getting the post up here in a day or two, man, and just toss your examples on there for sure. So there's all kinds of things that falls into it. So like I said, even for me, I've got fans that'll buy certain covers because they love the artwork, and then there's certain covers they won't buy because they don't like the artwork. So and all the fans matter. All the fans are important. They just come in at different tiers of fandom. You know what I mean? Oh, hell yeah. Awesome, Kevin. I ain't gonna lie, dude. It always makes me nervous when I ship out those original published artwork, for covers I've done. Oh, that makes my butthole pucker. That terrifies the shit out of me. Especially when you're shipping the original pencils. Like, the original inks for a cover still make me nervous too. But when you're shipping the original damn pencils for a published cover, like Department of Truth or Haha or Ice Cream Man or, Vampirella or any of those big titles, oh my God, my butthole's puckered the whole damn time. What's up, DJ? So I mean, and I'm gonna give you guys another thing to pay attention to as an artist. If you want people to really take notice of you as your artwork, you've got to be posting all the time. You can't post once every 6 months, once every 3 months, because that shows us you don't have the drive. I'm sorry, it just does. You have to be posting as much as possible. I don't give a shit to look at your Facebook page and it's cry me a river this, bitch and moan about this, football game this, basketball game this, movie this, TV this. I don't want to see that shit. And we look. So every single person that's ever sent me stuff saying I want to do a cover, I go look at your Facebook page because that's a telltale. If I look at your Facebook page and I look at 6 months worth of postings and it's 6 months worth of bullshit and not art, I'm sorry, man, I'm not going to hire you. And a lot of other people are not going to hire you either. Now, most people aren't going to tell you that, but I'm telling you that right now because I think it's an important thing. Because when I look at your page and I look at 6 months worth of posts and like every other damn, 3 or 4 posts is you creating some artwork, whether it's good, whether it's great, that's irrelevant. The fact that you're grinding and you're posting shows me that you're doing the work, which means I know you know how to handle the work. You're working when you're posting every 2-3 days, every 3-4 days, you're showing me that you're not sitting around on your ass playing Xbox. You're not playing PS5. You're not watching this football game. Your ass is sitting at the table and you're putting in the work and you're drawing. But if I look at your damn Facebook page and it's 6 months worth of anything and everything but art, I'm not hiring you. And you're fine to sit there and go, who the hell does this guy think he is? I'm a creator, published artist, and I've got a following. That's who the hell I am. And it's my money, my choice, my decision, right? I'm just giving you some free advice there that make your Facebook page work for you. Because nobody gives a shit what you're crying about. Nobody gives a shit about what football game you're watching. Nobody gives a shit about what rating you are on Fortnite or whatever the hell it is. Nobody gives a shit about Call of Duty. Not in this industry. We don't give a shit. Okay? What we want to see is you posting art, you being creative, you honing your skills, you putting in the work. That's what we want to see when we look at your page. And whether you think it or not, your Facebook page is an extension of your work. If you're going to call yourself an artist, I'm just trying to be honest with you. That's what a lot of people are paying attention to. If I'm looking at your page and you're losing your shit over this political opinion, or you're losing your shit over this pronoun, or you're losing your shit over this football game, and you're so upset you gotta go to Facebook and lose your shit about it, I don't think you'll be able to handle any critiques or having to redraw shit because you did something wrong. I'm just saying, like I said, to each their own. But if you want to be taken serious as an artist, you got to be creating art. I don't think that's unreasonable. You need to be posting almost daily, really and truly. And please don't give me no bullshit about you working a full-time job and shit like that. And that's why you can't do it. I don't want to hear that bullshit excuse either, because you're working a full-time job, but you're trying to be an artist and you want us to hire you and you're bitching your go-to excuse for why you don't post art every few days is because you work a full-time job and you can't just draw all the time. Then that means you can't do covers because we have deadlines and I don't give a shit about your full-time job. Sorry. Again, call me an asshole if you want to, but if nobody gives a shit about my excuses. It just is what it is. Nobody cares if I'm sick. Nobody cares if I'm anxiety driven that day. Nobody cares if I'm depressed. Nobody gives a shit about nothing, but is the deadline ready? And that's the way it is. So keep that in mind too, and the reason I say I can't listen to that excuse is because I grinded art daily for a year straight while I worked a full-time job 8 hours a day. I grinded art 2 to 4 hours a night, 7 days a week while I worked a full-time job. Then when I put myself out there and started doing this professionally, I still worked my other full-time job for a year while I was doing this professionally also, pulling almost 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. So I don't want to hear that bullshit excuse. Like I said, and I know I'm sounding hard right now and harsh, but you ask anyone that's worked with me, I'm a baby cake as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do. Okay. As long as I'm not having to fight you for deadlines, as long as I'm not having to argue with you about shit, as long as you're doing what you're being paid to do, we are perfect. Okay. I'm not going to listen to excuses. I'm not going to listen to any, and nobody else is either. This is just me being open and honest with you. Okay. Nobody else is going to baby your ass that does this professionally. Okay. So like I said, we all deal with anxiety. We all deal with depression. We all deal with bad days, sick days. I don't feel like drawing days. And that's the difference between a pro, and an amateur. We still draw when we don't feel like it. So if you want to be on that level, that's what you have to do. Sorry about that. I kind of hiccuped in the middle of that word. Sorry about that. Because I don't want to see you fail. You know, contrary to a lot of artists out there that don't give two shits about most people. Sorry, it is what it is. If it ain't concerning them, they don't give a shit about anybody else. And I'm not saying I'm some angel floating around. It's just there are some of us. We still know where we came from. We still know what we had to do to get here. And we still understand and appreciate how much the fans matter and how much keeping your word matters and how much doing the work matters. That we want to see people succeed. So that's why I'm telling you what I'm telling you. It's not to be mean. It's not to sound like an ass. I'm just telling you the hard ass truth about what you have to do to get to the level we're at. And I mean, shit, I'm not even up here. I'm down here. But still, to get here, this is what you have to do. You have to be willing to sacrifice time, energy, relationships. You have to be willing to sacrifice anything if you want to make a name for yourself in a short time frame. Now, if you got 30, 40 years to put into this, do it however the hell you want. But if you're someone who's trying to make a name for themselves in a relatively fast manner and get some recognition, you have to be willing to grind the work. So I appreciate it, Kevin. I mean, there's people just as hardworking as me. This, you know, I'm not the only one doing it. It's just, I think too many artists don't talk about this, don't tell this side of it. They sit back and, you know, again, most people don't want to rock the boat. They don't speak up. They don't say shit, whether it's about what you need to do to get to where they're at. You know, the sacrifices they made, things like that. I don't know. I don't know why most people don't talk about that. Like I said, I guess maybe people just don't want to rock the boat. Because I guarantee you, even what I'm saying right now has probably pissed somebody off in this chat. I guarantee you someone listening to this right now is going, who the hell is this asshole? You know, screw him. His shit don't matter. Yeah, I'm guarantee you I've pissed somebody already off in this chat because most people don't want to hear these hard truths. You know, I was lucky enough. Someone gave me these hard truths when I first got started. That's why I grinded the way I did, because they told me, hey, this is what you got to do. And what they've told me is 100% paid off. All my sacrifice, all my grinding, all my extra work, promoting, et cetera, everything I've done has gotten to me where I'm at. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment, whether anybody wants to admit it or not. To have 75 plus published covers in 4.5 years is a big fucking deal. Now, I'm not saying I'm a big deal. I'm just saying that work paid off and that work generated that. So, like I said, so I'm grateful that that person told me, hey, if you're about to jump into this, this is what you kind of need to do. And I did pretty much exactly what they said. Don't listen to other people. Don't let other people tell you. And I know that's kind of weird with me saying what I'm saying, but what I'm referring to in that is don't allow other people tell you you can't do it. Don't allow other people to tell you that you know, that you aren't worth the time, you aren't worth the effort. Don't let people tell you how to run your operation if it's working. And my operation is working. Now, have I ruffled feathers along the way? Hell yeah. Because sadly, I have not learned how to, I have not learned the one knee technique yet. I have not learned how to do that yet. Where you get on one knee and you position their ass just right here so you can lick their little bunghole. I haven't figured that one out yet. Hopefully soon I will get that. Maybe someone will start a class on that can help me out, because I've got this real stiff knee issue from football, younger years. So I've got this real problem with that kneeling shit, like Leonidas stated in 300. There, it's just this. It's this real bad knee problem. I can't seem to get down on that knee for the kiss assery. So yeah, I've not burnt bridges, but I've ruffled feathers. I guarantee you there's people that don't like me because I'm opinionated and I'm blunt, and I speak my mind about shit, and I don't play the I'm going to be your friend in your face and then I'm going to talk shit about you behind your back game. I'm not in high school, so I'm not playing that high school ass bullshit. So yeah, doing it the way I did it, yeah, you're going to ruffle some feathers. You're going to generate some jealousy, because remember now, it's your fault that they aren't where they should be. Remember that. So they're going to talk shit about you. They're going to blame you. They're going to throw you under the bus. They're going to slander you because they couldn't get off Xbox. They couldn't get in front of the art desk and do the work. They'd rather sit around and smoke their weed all day long, or like I said, play Call of Duty or any of this other shit instead of doing the actual physical work. But it'll be your fault. So be ready for that. But just ignore it. Like I said, ignore everything else everyone has got to say in a negative light, because I'm telling you this because I want to see more artists, whether it's male, female, whatever, younger, older, whatever the case may be. I do want to see more artists because it's a win-win for the industry. It keeps the industry alive. I can't fathom and I can't understand the petty ass bullshit from other artists that try to push people out of the industry just because you don't like them or because they're getting a little more shine than you're getting at the moment. But it's going to happen. Just ignore it. Submit your work for everything. Anytime anyone says, hey guys, we got openings, whether you think your artwork is good enough or not is irrelevant. Post your artwork, share it. If you're an artist and you're create on a daily basis and post it to Facebook. Grow some thick ass skin, because even though you're not asking for critiques, there's going to be assholes that's going to give them. They think just because you posted something on the internet that they have a right to go tell you what you did wrong. Just ignore them, because art is subjective, and what one person doesn't like, the other person may love. That's like I said, that's why you see different styles on Psycho Sal. There's some of the covers have been on Psycho Sal. I'm sure some people looked at it and went, oh, that cover's, oh, okay. Why did he do that? And then I look at it and I go, I like that style, So it all varies. So, grow some thick skin. Don't take every damn thing personal. Keep your word. Stay to your deadlines if you're hired to do a damn job. Take the feedback and critiques while you're doing a job. Make the changes that they need you to make, if needed, and promote. That's the other thing too. I'm gonna tell you right now. That's part of the contracted thing from this point forward. Whether you're a pro or whether you're an amateur, if you do a cover for Psycho Sal, part of your duty is to promote that book at least 3 times during the month of the Kickstarter. And I mean an actual legit promote, not share the link and roll on. You got to, and I'll give you a typed up message you can share. Oh yeah, check out my cover for Psycho Sal in Kickstarter now. It's about a serial killer in New Orleans in the 1980s. Easy peasy. You copy and paste, but that will be a standard part of the duties as a cover artist from this point forward. I don't know why I have to fight sometimes to get people to share their damn covers and promote, but that's ridiculous. And it's happened in previous Kickstarters. Luckily, this Kickstarter hasn't been that bad. Everybody's done pretty good. Because I'm a big believer. If I do a cover for a retailer, I share the shit out of it. If I do a cover for a Kickstarter, I share it multiple times during the Kickstarter event, the 30 days. And that takes all of 30 seconds of my damn time. So I'm a big believer in that shit. I've had people do past covers for me that shared it one time out of the entire damn month. And in my opinion, that's unexcusable. You're paid to do a job, and part of your job is to promote, whether you want to admit to it or not. Your part of your job as an artist, in my opinion, is to help make any project you got your hands on a success. That's the way I look at it. And we're not talking about, promoting shit every single day. Like I said, 3 posts out of a 4-week time frame, more than reasonable request. Okay. So keep that in mind too. Like I said, and if you got a problem with that, that's fine. I won't use you, because that's not hard. That's 30 seconds. And I give you a typed up message. You just copy and post, and you do it 3 times out of a 4-week, 30-day time frame. So 3 times out of 30 days. I think that's pretty damn reasonable. And I'm going to tell you, and now the next one is, you don't have to do it, but I'll tell you a good thing, a respectful thing to do. If you're ever invited to be part of a project, back the project. Even if it's the cheapest book on the project. If it's an $8 book or a $10 book, that's no problem. Now, again, you don't have to, but if you want to stand out as being someone respectful and being somebody supportive, if you're part of a project, back the project. I back every single project I'm a part of, unless I accidentally forget to do one, because I don't sit on Facebook 24/7, obviously. And it's out of all the projects I've done, I think I've had it happen once, maybe twice out of all the covers I've done. And that was just because I ran out of time and forgot to do it before the Kickstarter ends. So I always tell everybody now, when I'm part of their project, please don't let me forget. Make sure to send me a message and remind me, hey, be sure to back the project, because I will. I'll go buy a blank off of it, or I'll go buy my cover off of it. I have no problem with that. Ooh, $10, $15, whatever the case. Not a big damn deal, But like I said, that's not something you have to do or anything, but it's a real nice, respectful thing to do, in my opinion. Because you're being paid to do a job. Then on top of that, the people are giving you comps, which aren't part of your pay, because we already paid you full price for your artwork, and you're keeping the artwork. So keep that in mind too. Normally if I pay you $300, $200, $400, $500 for a piece of art, I get the artwork, because it's a commission. The covers are the only one out there where we'll pay full price for your labor, and you still get to keep the original artwork that you did for the cover, unless we pay extra. So, I'd say that's pretty reasonable for you to jump over there and drop $10 on the Kickstarter. I'm just saying. But those, like I said, someone had asked me that, what are some things to help stand out, to get people's attention of a project they may want to work on. That's a great way to do it. Share the projects and or back the projects. That will get creators' attention real quick. Oh shit, so-and-so artist that was wanting to do a cover for me just backed my Kickstarter. Now, don't get me wrong, we have limited spots. We can't get to all of you all the time. So there may be moments where you might back a Kickstarter and you may not get a cover job. Like I said, it's nothing personal. We have to look at who's posting, who has, who's doing what on their Facebook, and what it fits the design concept. All that matters. And like I said, when you're only dealing with 2 to 3 spots per book, it may be a minute before you get a chance to land a cover. Just be persistent. Don't take it personal. Don't get ass hurt. If we don't choose you that moment, if you went and backed my Kickstarter at that moment, but then you didn't get to land the cover on the next one, don't take it personal, because it's still a win-win. You supported an indie project and, you spent $10. Not that big a deal. Just be mindful that, that it could take you a couple of posts to get a cover, I mean, I've had one person that posted on every day. I mean, hell, I had one person that's bought into every single Kickstarter since day one and has shared every single Kickstarter since, day one, or issue one, I should say it that way, who has been there since issue one, backed every Kickstarter, and then they landed a cover on issue number 4. So it took them, now that wasn't why I chose them, but it helped get them, to keep popping into my head. You get what I'm saying? It's planting those subliminal, kind of hints. It took that person, they every time I made a post, they chimed in on it. Every time I did a Kickstarter, they backed it and shared it. And then boom, issue number 4, they landed a cover. Like I said, now that wasn't necessarily, the main reason I chose them. I chose them because I kind of liked their style, and what they were doing was unique. But still, that didn't hurt. A lot of people don't think about that. They'll sit there and they'll want, but don't want to give. And that's not how it always works. I've backed several Kickstarters that I wanted to do a cover for, and I backed them before I finally got a cover. So I'm just saying. No, I haven't announced it. We're talking about the as the information on the post says, on the video post, we're just talking about what's expected and everything. I'll make an official post here in the next day or two where people will comment on with wanting potential covers. So yeah, just be looking for the post. But yeah, this was just, I had someone ask me, like, when, someone sent me a PM this morning asking when, that was going to go up, and like what all criteria kind of fit into it. So I figured I'd just waste a little bit of time this morning and kind of talk about it, what'll happen, what's expected of people, and what they should consider and what they should be looking at, because all of it matters. And it's easier to say that shit here on a video than it is to try to type up some damn long-winded ass post. And this way people can go back and watch the video. So, I figured this would just be easier. But no, I have not announced any covers for issue number 6 yet. I'm going to have probably 3 spots that are going to be open to the public. The other 3 spots are going to go to pros that I'm reaching out to do a cover for the book. But yeah, sometime, over the next day or so, I'll put up the official post announcement seeking artists, and that will be where people can chime in with 2 to 3 of their favorite pieces they've done. And then I'll look through all those. I'll leave it up for about a week. So I'll probably post it tomorrow and leave it up until Friday evening. And then Friday evening, then I'll look through it and I'll see who all submitted stuff and see what might fit the project and things like that. So, but I can't stress it enough, and I'll have the information on the post too, but it's amazing how many times people don't read the post. I'm telling you guys right down now, and I'll say it again on the post. If you don't read that entire post and you break any of the damn information on that post, your ass is not getting a cover because you can't follow simple instructions. And one of the major ones on there is do not send me a PM with examples of your work, because I get too many PMs. And I'm not saying that to be an ass, like, my time's important, you can't send me a PM. I don't mean that. I mean, I get so many PMs a day, your shit will be buried before you know it. And I won't remember to go back and look. So that's why I centralize it. I put it all on one post, and I can go back and look at that one post, because I'll make that one post and I'll share it to the private art group. I'll share it to the public art group. So you'll have 3 areas you should be able to see the damn post. But if you can't follow the information on that damn post, you will not get a job. I'm just going to tell you that shit right now. And I'll save you the hassle. If you're someone who's published 1 or 2 books, or you haven't published any books and you think you're a $400, $500, $600 artist, I'll save you the time. Don't waste no time posting on that post, because I'm sorry, you're not. If you're doing $20 and $40 commissions, you're not a $500 cover artist. Okay? You're not a $300 cover artist. I mean, if you're doing those kind of commissions, 24, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. You got to start somewhere. When I first started, I was doing $40 commissions. So I don't mean it that way. I'm just saying you can't be a $40 commission and ask a $200, $300, $400 fee to do a cover. That's not how it works. Otherwise, I'll just hire you to do a $40 commission and then slap the artwork on the cover, but I wouldn't do that. I'm just saying that's how much sense that makes. So you got to be smart about it. Okay. You got to earn your place. You can't sit back as a brand new artist and see what Joe Blow, who's published and pro, is doing and think you're supposed to charge the same money as that person. That's not how it works. That's why you're not selling stuff sometimes, because you're out charging what your quality of work is. You're out charging what your experience level is. You're out charging what your popularity level is. You got to know your lane. Like, I know I can't get David Finch prices. I know I can't get Jim Lee prices. I know I can't get Ryan Benjamin prices. I know my lane, and my lane's the middle of the road. I've been doing this 5 years, so I'm kind of the middle of the road. I'm nowhere near, the express lane yet. So I can't sit around going, oh, my cover price is $800. And sadly, there's some people that's in my lane think they're $700, $800 cover artists. And I'm sorry, they're not. Now, I'm not saying they can't get it. Now, I'm not saying that. Now, to be fair, what I charge is a little lower than what I should be charging for my lane, compared to other people that are in my lane. But I'm comfortable where my prices are, and I'm happy with them. I'll eventually do a price increase on my labor fees and my commission fees at some point. But I'm fine with it for right now. And, do I think I should be, do I think I should be at the $600, $700 range for covers? Oh, hell yeah, without a doubt. My library of work speaks for it. But I'm comfortable where I'm at. And plus, I get to do a lot more indie books that way too, because not every indie artist has, $600, $700, $800 to pay some damn artist, So my price I have set for mine is even lowered than where it should be, because I want more work than I want more money. You get what I'm saying? Because that's more important to me, because I charge $500 to do a cover, and that includes my colorist. So there's his fee, comes out of the 500 fee. So, and what my library of work is, what my quality is. So, and like I said, now to be fair, mine should be a little higher, but I want more work than I do the money. I don't want to just be doing covers for retailers. I don't want to just be doing covers for bigger companies, etc. I like doing covers for indie. I have a blast doing indie covers, and not everyone can pay, retailer exclusive cover prices for indie jobs. So you got to remember that, but anyway, like I said, that's all. This is just my thoughts, my opinion on it, how I run mine. And I haven't had any issues with it so far. Like I said, we're 5 issues deep, but like I said, I love indie. I have a blast with it. There's no doubt about it. I could change my prices to $700. Now I'm talking about for published covers, not commissions. That's a little bit different price. But as far as doing cover work, I could change my prices to $700 and pay my colorist out of that $700, and I would get plenty of work, and there's no issue about it, because my library of work values it to that level, and my ability to reach deadlines extremely fast, solidify that value, and my quality of work solidifies that value, and my fan base that shows up to buy said books validates my value. It's just I choose to have a little bit lower fee for indie books. Now, when I do a retailer exclusive, or I do a high-end book, now my fee goes up to, it'll go up to that $600 range, and so on. And even that's still a little bit cheaper than the other people that are in my lane of popularity, so you got to do stuff that makes sense for you to get more work. And because I enjoy doing indie stuff so much, I want to make sure I can stay affordable for pretty much most of the indie people out there. But now, to be fair, Now, the other thing that my fee gets them and why I've done so many covers, this is part of it too, because I'm not the best artist, you know. The other thing I do that pretty much most other artists do not do, and that's not throwing shade on them, it's just it's never really been expected, oddly enough. But the other thing I do is I promote the living hell out of everything I'm working on. If it's an indie project, I promote it heavily through the process of the 30 days of the Kickstarter running. If it's a retailer exclusive, hell, most of the time I do the pre-sales for the retailers. You know, I type up the information, I get it posted, I tag the people, I share it out. Most of the time, the retailers aren't really doing shit. That's huge. So that's another reason a lot of people work with me. You know, is because of that, because I do those things that are not required of me. Because it's not technically my job to go do the pre-sale stuff for retailers. It's not technically my job to overly promote, you know, and it's not my job to tag and share and, you know, as much as I do. I don't get paid extra for that. That's just something I include with my process because I want the project to succeed. You know, and we already know Facebook and Instagram and any of these other platforms are hot shit with their algorithms and all of that. So it takes heavy promoting, it takes heavy sharing, it takes heavy tagging and all of that to get people to finally get eyes on your shit. Because I've got people right now that was 20 days into the Kickstarter that didn't even know Psycho Sal Kickstarter was going. And how many times do I go live? How many times do I share and post shit? And there's still fans that don't see shit. So that's why it's important. So, you know, those are things that set me apart from other people because, again, I'm not the best artist. You know, so I do other things to help offset that, to help me stand out. I make sure I keep my word on deadlines. I make sure I keep my word about getting my artist part of it handled. I make sure I keep my word about promoting and stuff like that. And that's what helps set you apart because, again, sadly, most people don't do it. They may share it once. They may share it twice. That's about it. And a lot of them is just sharing it one time. That just is what it is. And like I said, that's not throwing shade on anyone. That's just the way it's always been. Oh, hey, guys, here's my cover for so-and-so. You know, they'll do their cover announcement. Here's my cover for so-and-so. Make sure you go check it out and support it. And then they're gone. Most time they won't even go back and post it again. It just is what it is. Hell, even some of the damn people I've done covers for barely promote their own shit. So, you know, thank you. I appreciate it, DJ. Yeah, have a good day, man. So yeah, you know, you got to figure out ways to make yourself stand out. So, and one of the best ways to do that is by standing by your word, putting out your project as best quality as you can, without rushing it into trashy looking stuff. You know, do the best you can, but do it in a time frame, and be willing to help promote and share and get what fans you have, whether you have a lot of fans or a few fans, get them on board as much as you can. You know, that's how you get noticed. That's how you get people paying attention to you when you don't have like a big name behind yourself, you know, just yet. So, but anyway, I'm going to get off here, guys. I will be going live again here in a few minutes to work on art. And I don't want to just, you know, transfer this video over to the art video. I want to keep them separate since this is a specific thing. Like I said, if what I said upset you, I hate that happen. If what I said offended you, I hate that happen because I'm truly just trying to give you some insider thought and some help about helping you kind of, you know, move your stuff forward. You know, and again, you don't have to do it my way. This is just the way I did it, the way it has worked for me. And I'm just sharing you this kind of same information that was shared to me when I first got started. And in my opinion, it's worked. So take that however you want to. I wish you all the best no matter what. If you're grinding art, keep grinding art. You know, if you want to make this a you know, career path, you know, just do whatever you got to do to get it done, you know. But anyway, I'm going to get off here. Like I said, I'm going live in a second. I'm going to work on some art on this beautiful Sunday. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys who have supported Psycho Sal, who have shared it, who have definitely financially supported it. If you hadn't had a chance to check it out, go check it out. It's in Kickstarter right now. We have 5 days left. We're about to hit the $8,000 stretch goal, so a new freebie for every physical backer on the backing. So go check it out. Psycho Sal. It's about a serial killer in New Orleans in the 1980s, and it is a great read. Whether you're a horror fan or not, you will enjoy this book. I absolutely promise you that. We have not had a single person yet that did not like it. And like I said, we have made non-horror fans horror fans with this book. So definitely go check it out, guys. Thank you again for your time. You can find the link to Psycho Sal, on my Facebook page on several posts. So go check it out. Take a look. A lot of great artists on it. And I'll show you guys the covers for it real quick. Here's my cover for Psycho Sal, the homage to the Batgirl 41 cover. Here is the naughty version of it. And this is the first naughty book on a Psycho Sal publication. This is also the first cosplay cover on Psycho Sal with Ivy Cosplay. That's her cosplaying as Special Agent Sarah Dinks. There's the Risque cover. Then we also have the incredibly talented and awesome guy Ryan Kincaid on here with one of his covers. Then we have Anna Zul with her badass cover. Then we got Sean Forney. We have Ruth Lucas doing a cover. We have Ken Hunt. And we have Amy Good doing a cover. And then also for the first time on any Kickstarter I've ever seen, we have the first ever collectible VHS cassette tape with cover art on the case and everything, with a Psycho Sal membership card that is in the add-on sections of the Kickstarter. That membership card gets you free signatures for life at any event you see me at, up to 10 items. So it comes with a VHS tape. Now, that is not an actual movie or anything. It's just a blank cassette tape. But it comes with the VHS tape. It comes with the box it goes in that has the front and back cover art and everything. And then it comes with the Psycho Sal membership card. Like I said, that's in the add-on sections. So once you back the project and it takes you to the add-on, make sure to pay attention to the add-on section. There are tons of goodies in that add-on section. From one-off, one-of-one style covers. There's medals, glow-in-the-dark foils, gold medals, etc., etc. Lots of goodies in the add-on section, so make sure you pay close attention to that. Excuse me. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. I wish you all the luck. Keep your eye open. I'll put the post up tomorrow. My page, the Facebook private group, the Facebook public group for Art of William Russell. I'll leave it up until Friday, and you feel free to post. Like I said, I'll have all the information on the post, but be looking for the post. But anyway, you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in a few minutes when I go live to do some drawing. Take care, guys.